Thank you, Joe, for being here. Can you tell everyone your full name and how do you help clients?
Hey, my full name is Joe Apfelbaum. I am the CEO of Ajax Union, and the way that we help clients is we do their marketing for them, or we teach them how to do their own marketing through a company called Evergreen.
Excellent. Now, I first heard about you on Clubhouse. So my next question is, what do you love most about Clubhouse?
I love that Clubhouse is an exclusive audio only, invitation only platform that is different than other platforms because Clubhouse allows you to be on completely. Whatever happens in Clubhouse stays in Clubhouse. So it's almost like an opportunity to connect with people and to get their attention on a whole nother level. When you're watching a video on, say, for example, YouTube or LinkedIn or even an Instagram story, you can always go back if you miss something. But on Clubhouse, if you miss it, you lose it, and it's never going to be repeated ever again, and it's not being recorded. So people are listening with a different type of intensity when it comes to using Clubhouse.
What would you say, how much time do you spend on Clubhouse on average?
I definitely spend scheduled time on Clubhouse, which means I will have people in my network schedule for me to speak at their event. So those are scheduled. So that will sometimes happen 1 to 2 hours per week. And then I also have my own events that I host or co-host with other people. And that's a minimum of an hour a week doing that. So the real question I always ask people is, how much of a priority is it for you to have a voice, for you to go out there and be speaking in front of your clients and prospective clients? And if you are a professional speaker, it's really important for you to be out there using your voice. And if you're a professional, learning how to use your voice will get you more clients, more opportunities, and more leads. I also do impromptu rooms sometimes to test out certain things. So I have groups of people and I say, hey, I'm about to go on Clubhouse right now to talk about LinkedIn tips. If anybody wants to join me, feel free. And I will email people that I know that are already on Clubhouse the link to that, and then they can join me right there. I also have a WhatsApp group with other Clubhouse members that I know that if I post inside that group, there's a chance that some of the people might be available to join. So there's a very big difference between having scheduled rooms and impromptu rooms. Also, if I have time, I'll also jump in to other people's rooms and add value there. That I'll do sporadically. Lately, I haven't had time because I've been traveling to jump into other people's rooms. Typically, when you're going to go into a room, you want to leave at least 15 minutes of you going in there, listening, making sure that you can add value, then raising your hand, getting onto stage. And even that might take 5 to 10 minutes till you're actually able to add some value. And then the total value that you add might be 1 to 2 minutes of value. And often you'll move on. So it's not something that you kind of just jump in and right away start talking. You first have to get acclimated as to what's going on. You're walking into a room where people are already having a conversation. That's how you need to look at it.
Excellent. Now you mentioned leads, and my show is all about lead generation. So how have you generated leads by being on Clubhouse?
I've generated leads by being on Clubhouse, number one, by inviting the people that I already want to service into my rooms and then have conversations with them in my rooms. I've generated leads by finding friends of friends. So when I'm talking to a friend on Clubhouse or a business colleague, a vendor, or a client on Clubhouse, they will often invite their friends and introduce me to their friends, which turns into opportunities and leads. And then I go into rooms that have my clients in them and that are relevant to my target market. So for example, one of the things that we do is we teach people how to use LinkedIn. So a room that says how to use LinkedIn in just 15 minutes a day is a great room for me to hang in because anybody that's there wants to learn how to use LinkedIn. And if I deliver enough value in that room, people typically want to learn more. And that's how I generate leads using Clubhouse.
Next question, you brought up LinkedIn. When did you start using LinkedIn as a lead generation tool?
I started using LinkedIn mostly as a resume platform when I signed up over a decade ago. And then what I realized is that a lot of the people that are on LinkedIn are potential clients of mine. So I started networking more on LinkedIn. And it wasn't until Microsoft paid $26.2 billion to purchase LinkedIn and make it part of its suite that I really started to take LinkedIn seriously. That's just after I started networking offline, and I realized that I could be networking online as well as my offline marketing networking efforts. And so I would say past several years, I really got into it and I started generating really significant leads using LinkedIn.
What would you say is the best way to build relationships on Clubhouse and then also on LinkedIn?
The best way to build relationships on Clubhouse is to really get to know people. Most people, they'll jump in, they'll show up, and they'll throw up. Instead of showing up and throwing up, show up and follow up. Why? Because the fortune is in the follow up. And so, how do you follow up from Clubhouse? Well, typically you follow up from Clubhouse to Instagram. And then from Instagram, I follow up on LinkedIn. So I'll see somebody's profile, for example, Michael, I might find your profile on Clubhouse and I'll see you said something interesting, or you might be in a room of mine. I will then follow you on Clubhouse, then click on your profile, scroll down. If your Instagram is connected, I will direct message you on Instagram right away saying it was nice to meet you on Clubhouse. Would love to connect with you here on Instagram. I'm following you here too. Typically, you'll respond to that. And when you respond to that message, I'll then say, hey, are you on LinkedIn? I'd love to connect and learn more about you on LinkedIn. Because on Instagram, you have limited information that you can find out about a person. You just see their posts, maybe their username, maybe whatever they wrote on their profile, which is usually not much. But on LinkedIn, I can see our mutual connections. I can see what you do for a living. I can see your recommendations. I can support your posts. There's a lot that I can do on LinkedIn that you can't do on Instagram and Clubhouse. But my path to getting to LinkedIn is usually through Instagram, because that's the only way that I can really follow up properly. Now, sometimes people include their LinkedIn profile URL inside their Clubhouse, or they include their email. I'll usually screenshot that. And if I'm by a computer, I will then message them and connect with them on LinkedIn as well. And I actually have a list of people who I know are active on Clubhouse that are also on LinkedIn. And I create messaging groups with them on LinkedIn. And then I ask them what rooms they're going to have and how I can support them. And we kind of collaborate with each other and support each other. And that's another way to be able to gain influence, build real relationships, which ultimately generate revenue.
Excellent. I was looking in your bio, and one of the questions you have in there is building a tribe versus going viral. Why is it important to have a tribe?
A lot of people jump on Clubhouse and they're trying to get as many followers as possible. Followers on Clubhouse is not going to help you generate revenue unless you're selling them something Clubhouse related. What you want to do instead is build real relationships instead of trying to go viral, especially if you have a real product and service and you're not just kind of promoting your TikTok profile or whatever it is. If you have real products and services, people buy from other people that they know, they like, and they trust. And if you have a real business and you want to learn how to use Clubhouse to grow your business, then learning how to be methodical, how to be strategic instead of trying to go viral, instead of being all over the place is really important. And I actually have a 1-hour webinar that people can watch for free at hostclubhouse.com. That's HOST clubhouse.com. And that's another tip right there. When I tell people to go to URLs, because it's voice only on Clubhouse, it's important to have easy to remember URLs. So Amazing Clubhouse Webinar takes you to our Amazing Clubhouse webinar. The reason I buy those URLs and I use them on Clubhouse is so that when I'm on a meeting in Clubhouse, people can easily jot those things down and they'll remember. So making sure that you set up those URLs. For example, if I want people to join our 9 a.m. meeting on Monday on Clubhouse, I say go to b2bclubhouse.com, and I have a document there with all the Clubhouse related things to that particular meeting that happens every Monday at 9 a.m. And during that meeting, I'll also update that document with information that's relevant to that particular meeting. And I'll say, all the people that are in this room are actually in the document. So go to b2bclubhouse.com and you'll find all the people with their centers of influence and their LinkedIn URLs right there on that document. So make sure that you go to that document, you sign up to our WhatsApp group, you sign up to our LinkedIn group, and you connect with me on LinkedIn. So go ahead and go to the document, go to b2bclubhouse.com. Or for example, if I'm talking and somebody says, Joe, how do we follow up with you? I can tell people to click on my face and then go read my whole profile or send me something on Instagram, which I'll often do. But even better is I tell people go to clubhousefu.com. FU stands for follow up, but it's also very easy to remember because FU typically stands for something else. So I'll say go to clubhousefu.com, and that'll take you to a document which has all the different things, including templates on how to follow up. My Clubhouse profile is on there. So in case you want to copy and paste elements of my profile, you can't copy and paste on Clubhouse right now. But if people want my profile, I say go to clubhousefu.com. So it's a really great follow-up document for Clubhouse.
Excellent strategies. I love the giving people a URL. That's great. Now, I was looking on your bio and it said that you came on Clubhouse in January. This is now June. Can you quantify how much money you made? Maybe like 4 figures, 5 figures? Just to let
I've generated tens of thousands of dollars in actual revenue from Clubhouse. And I also have a pipeline of, let's say, $300,000 in potential revenue that I hopefully will close in the coming year directly as a result of Clubhouse. So how do people invest in me on Clubhouse? So corporate training. I found people where we've trained their sales teams. I've had people sign up to our course. We have a course on how to use LinkedIn. If you go to learnbusinessnetworking.com, you can see more information about that course. So I've had people to sign up to our course as a result of having a conversation with me on Clubhouse. I've also had hundreds of people go to hostclubhouse.com, and we have a simple course with 12 videos. It's really affordable for a few dollars. So we've had over 100 people purchase that course as well. So for me, it's about just adding value. When I'm on Clubhouse, I'm not trying to sell anything, but the follow-up is where the sales happen. When people want to get on a call with me after, or people connect with me on Instagram and they see what I do for a living, typically they'll want to find out more. And those conversations, the follow-up conversations, turns into revenue. Revenue doesn't happen from Clubhouse. Revenue happens from follow-up off Clubhouse, but it begins and you get a lot of opportunity from Clubhouse because you have real conversations with people that are paying more attention than most social media platforms.
So very true. Last question. If someone is just new to Clubhouse, like the new people on Android, what's one tip for them to be successful on the platform if they want to generate leads?
Be consistent. So consistency pays, and this works with everything else, but know what your plan is, have a foundation, understand your expectations. And we talk about this in our course on how to do that. And we give you a workbook on how to be consistent. So schedule meetings with other people, have actual relationships that are on Clubhouse. If you're there with a bunch of strangers, you're not going to be there very long. But if you build real relationships with people that are using Clubhouse, you interview them, they interview you, you have conversations, you connect on other platforms, and you actually follow up, you're much more likely to get invited to events and also to have other people that you could invite to events. So consistency and real connections, real relationships is my tip for how to make Clubhouse more effective for beginners.
Excellent. So Joe, where can people find you online?
If you want to find me online, you can go to joelinkedin.com because my main hub is LinkedIn. I have tens of thousands of followers on LinkedIn and I post content there every day. So make sure that you send me a message on LinkedIn. If you go to joelinkedin.com, it'll redirect you to my LinkedIn profile. And if you want to learn more about me, of course, in my LinkedIn bio, in my About section, I have an entire document with tons of information about everything from my books to my speaking engagements to my free webinars and to how you can get on the phone with me. So definitely read my bio on LinkedIn.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Joe, for your time, and we'll see you in Clubhouse.
Thank you. See you in Clubhouse. Boom.